Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm BJ.
and this week, I don't know what we're talking about because I just got back home and we decided to record an episode anyway.
Yep. So
Uh,
I figure this week that last week we got to talk about my most recent trip, and you just got home. You just came back from another awesome trip, not quite as gaming related, but had to deal with games, and we've talked a lot about baseball in the past.
that's the thing. Yeah, I just went on a trip to Seattle, to watch baseball and hike a bunch and not stare at computer screens. Um, so it's probably not the most fascinating thing to people who are listening to a Dragon Quest podcast. But yeah, it was fun. I live in South Florida, so I literally went from like the southeasternmost part of the United States to like the northwesternmost part of like
Uh-huh.
the continental US at least. Um, so it was, it was a pretty big trip.
How long was the flight to actually go from corner to corner like that?
So the trip there was like 6.5 hours. It
Okay.
was we managed to get a straight flight, so it was 6.5 hours straight. Um, on the way back, because we were no longer going against the wind, it took more like five and a half,
Oh, wow. That's
five and a
actually
half to
way
five
shorter
forty
than I expected.
5:45. Yeah, it was pretty quick. There was like some rain in Fort Lauderdale, which is the airport we were flying into. And I think that kind of delayed it. Um, but yeah, it was like Ichiro's retirement, um, like number retirement after him
Yeah.
being inducted in the Hall of Fame. So they had like free giveaways. So, like the first day we were there, we got free Funko Pops for the first 10,000 people through the gate.
Sweet.
Um, that was fun. We waited in line for a good while because they were like really out the door. And then the
Yeah.
next day, I'm not going to talk about this the whole episode, but the next day when we went to again, they were giving Ichiro jerseys away,
Oh,
and
cool.
they were like pretty nice. Like down here in Florida, like I've been to some Marlins games and they call them jerseys, and they're just cheap t-shirts that look like
Hmm.
jerseys. But this was like an actual jersey. I mean, it wasn't like as high quality as like the official authentic stuff they wear
Right.
on the field or that you can buy, but it was a really nice high quality one. So we get there. Traffic in Seattle is terrible, y'all. If you live in Seattle, you probably already know this, but everybody else, it's like New York City, LA levels of bad.
I've never
Um,
been to Seattle, so I've never seen it.
it also didn't help that not only were the Mariners playing, but right across the street, the Seahawks had their first exhibition game. Uh,
Oh, that
so
does
you
not help.
so you had baseball and football happening like at the same time. So it was like a madhouse. But we rode the subway. They have a subway system. You can ride the train for $3. Doesn't matter how far
Okay.
you go, you can ride it for $3. Round trip is $6. So we went ahead and got round trip tickets. It's definitely the preferred way to go. But we got there like 3 hours before the game started, right? I've never seen so many people lined up for this. It was for the first 20,000 people.
Okay.
It was like I'm pretty sure a sold out stadium, so like close to 40,000, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The the sidewalk is massive. You're like outside of a giant stadium, and there's just like zigzaggy lines of people around the block and like down
Uh,
the streets and down across other buildings. Like, do y'all know how big a stadium is? Like, it's not all the
yeah.
way down the side of the stadium, it's like down other buildings. And so we were like, oh man, we're definitely not gonna get in there. And I had read about this sports bar across the street. Okay,
Okay.
it's called like Hatbox, I think, or Hitbox.
I
I
have
can't
no
remember.
idea.
Anyway, I don't know. I got a receipt, but anyway, so I was like, hey, let's just go over there because there's no chance we're getting these jerseys. We'll go over there. We'll just chill out, and my uncle was with me. So I was like, we'll just chill out, and we still get to see the game. It'll still be fun. So we get there and we eat some food. I have like an iffy stomach, so I didn't really eat much on this trip. Um, so
That's an understatement
it's
saying
an
you have
understatement. Yeah.
an iffy stomach.
So I had like some like water and some grilled salmon basically. And anyway, then on the way out, we were like, all right, I guess we'll just go get in line. It was like still a couple of hours, but we were just like whatever.
Yeah.
So we're on our way out, and they have like a little like tailgate party happening like off to the side.
Oh yeah, you were
Um,
telling me about getting invited to a tailgate party.
and this guy comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, if you guys want Ichiro jerseys and you don't want to wait in line," and we're kind of like, "Yes." And he was like, "If you've got the tickets, just come right over here. They'll scan your tickets. You can get a jersey, you can get beer, um, just come on in." And so we were like, okay. So we start to go in. I got carded, which made me feel good.
That is nice.
They put a little bracelet on, and we went and stood in a very short line. And so while I kind of felt bad, so while there's like 10,000 people or more lined up, miserable out there, like waiting for 3 hours to get
Uh-huh.
this jersey, we're across the street, can see them, and we're sitting there with our Ichiro jerseys on. Like we have really nice bathrooms beside of us. They're playing games up on the big
Huh.
screen TV. They're like they have beer and beef jerky and all these other things. And like the whole time we're just kind of there like did we get away with something? Like what's
Wow.
happening?
Who was
So
running that? Was that from the stadium itself, like the
it
Mariners
was
doing
I
that,
I I,
or
I think it's because of the I think it's not like an official bar connected to the
yeah.
stadium, but I think maybe either the people who own the bar like paid for some of those shirts, or
Mm,
they just gave them a couple hundred shirts. Because in like the grand scheme of things, it was just a couple hundred shirts.
yeah.
And um, so yeah, and then whenever we went back in line, and we managed to just I guess get lucky and choose the right line because we
Yeah.
got in there like super fast after all of this once the gates opened. And the gate that we went in was the only gate that still had jerseys. So like all these people are like fighting trying to get down the stairs, and they
Uh,
like security was like holding them off.
oh my
And
goodness.
so we got a third one to take home to my wife. So Grace has a
Nice.
jersey. We didn't take two because I felt bad. I was like, other people really want this jersey. We don't need four
Yeah.
jerseys. But I was like, Grace would really like one. And I told her I'd bring her a souvenir. So yeah, so we got another one, but it was kind of just like a crazy,
That is,
um,
you were saying earlier to me that you were in the right place at the right time with a lot of this trip. So that really does seem like to start it out on a high note. And I'm assuming that they were the same jerseys as well that you got. Like it wasn't like the place across the road had
no,
knockoff ones and were giving them away. Like they were the same ones.
they were literally the same ones. Yeah. And
Well, hey,
so I did feel kind of bad because I mean, it was seriously like those people were waiting in line for like 3 hours, and we were just across the
yeah,
street, and everybody
mm,
everybody there, has our Ichiro jerseys, and people's just, eating pub snacks and drinking beer and looking out at the poor people across the street. But like, some people definitely word of mouth spread. Like by the time we
right.
left, there was a lot more people in there. Um, but yeah, we didn't have to pay anything to get in
No,
or anything. They scanned the tickets that I had.
that's awesome. So
It
I'm
was
glad that you had a good trip. How was the game? How was
It
the
was
kind of
good.
game?
It was good. The first game was pretty exciting. They ended up winning in like the 11th inning, so it went like extra innings. The
Nice.
second night was incredible. Um, it was like sold out. The Jersey thing had already happened, and then Cal Raleigh, who leads the league in like home runs, he's my favorite player. For years, I've been telling people what a good baseball player Cal Raleigh was, and nobody believes me because it's like Seattle Mariners. And then now this year, he's finally getting national attention. I'm like, I told you. Um, Anyway, he'd been in just a little slump, but he hit his first home run in like 2 weeks, and it
Cool.
came like right to me.
Okay,
Okay,
that's the
so
one that came to you. I
yeah,
didn't know
it
who it
was
was that hit it.
it was crazy because he hadn't hit one in a while, and it was like the game. It was the winning home run. The Mariners were down 2-0. There were two people on base, so this brought them up 3-2 by hitting this home run. And it was like an eighth inning, late in the game, wasn't looking so great. He hits this home run. It comes like straight to me. My uncle, he's sitting there, he's like shaking me on the shoulders. He's like, "It's coming straight to you." And I'm like here, and I'm like got like just this huge smile on my face, like it's coming to me. There's like opera playing in the background, and I'm just like so ready to catch it. And then, it's windy.
Yep.
And the wind, you can watch it, and the wind I could tell it was starting to go a little to my left. So I'm sitting right there by the rail, and then dropping in here is like a no man's land, where like
Yeah.
just employees come and go. And so I could tell it was going to fall right there. So I like kind of lean over this way, and I'm like, I've got my hands out, and like I sent you the picture,
You
and
did.
it
Like there's
it
a picture of this on, where he was caught on camera trying to
it
get
was
this
like
ball, y'all.
all the replays, yeah. And so like it was like probably like it felt like 6 inches just away from my fingertips, but in actuality, I think it was probably like 15 to 24 inches. But
Hmm.
still, it was like 2 feet or less
It looked
out
like
of
it
my
was
hand.
within a foot, like or about a foot away, like with you reaching out on the pictures that you sent me. It's like so sad. Like I'm assuming that there was no way at that point to like get that ball after it bounced on that awning that was under you, that
No,
kind of thing.
no, because if you leap over the fences and stuff, you'll get ejected and probably like banned for life,
Maybe so.
for breaking the rules. So it's like not something you can just do.
Yeah.
Um, but it was tempting. And it was like an incredible thing. And like my uncle and aunt, they had a friend that lives in Seattle. So we stayed with her, and she was like an incredible host and drove us all around. We went to like lots of places that like are not touristy places.
Yeah.
They were to like go and hike and stuff, and it was funny because we would like we're friendly people, right? So we're like talking to people on
Yep.
like the train and on the plane. That was the other cool thing. The flight attendants liked us on the flight there because we were just talking to them like they're
Yeah.
people. And so they gave us like free drinks the whole time. I tried scotch for the first time and I liked it.
Mm-mm.
And anyway, so and we were just talking to people, but it was really funny because we went to what is called the ice caves there in Seattle, and it's like not a touristy place at all. And but we would tell people there who are locals, and they all said the same thing. They were all like, a lot of people die there. Like and so it's kind of like a running gag the rest of the week. But I guess the ice like melts and falls, can like hit you in the head.
Oh
But
my
also if you're
goodness.
trying, and you're not supposed to go in, you're not supposed to go into the cave because
Okay.
it's this massive block of ice. Okay, it's probably like 100 yards across,
All right.
goes up an incredible height. But as it melts, starts to melt in the summertime, it forms like these like caves, right?
Okay.
You can't go in there because the ice is melting, so it could fall and
Yeah, it
knock you in
actually
the
could.
head. If you try to climb up it, it's ice, and then you slide down and just like face plant like a bunch of granite rocks.
Oh my
So it's like
gosh.
so apparently people do die there, but it was funny because like that was like everyone's response. Anytime people were like, "So what are you doing while you're in here?" And we would be like, we went to ice caves. They'd be like, "Oh, a lot of people die there," or "We're going to the ice caves," and they'd be like, "Be careful, a lot of people die there."
Did you try to climb it at all? Did you do anything
No,
that was remotely
no,
dangerous while you were at it?
no, no, no. There is plenty of signs saying like, "Don't go in the caves, don't climb on it. A lot of people die." Um, and and so I was like, I don't want to die. It was cool ice caves, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Um, but yeah, I had a good time. I was telling my wife about it after we got home. It was my kind of city, minus the traffic. If you take away the
Right.
traffic, it was my kind of city. Felt like I got along great with like all the people there. And it'd be really funny because they do not have a very high opinion of Florida. And so when they found out that like we were in Florida, you could see, even though they were trying to hide it and kind of be
Yeah.
nice, they're like, oh. And then they talked to us for 10 seconds or whatever and realized that we're not those kind of Florida people.
Yeah.
And yeah, just had a good time.
Man.
Whether it's
Yeah.
music or whether it's like the music history, with the city, or like just like, I'm a big fan of the local sports team, so I think that endears me to the locals a little bit.
Probably does.
So I came back home and I told Grace, I was like, I was a big hit in Seattle.
You were a big deal. Um,
People,
did you
people
get
gave
to
me
go to the Modest Mouse house that you were talking about?
in Issaquah. No, we never made it out there. We were in the neighborhood Kurt Cobain's house
Mhm.
was in, and ended up, we were running short on time, so we didn't go there. And then the last day, that night before we headed out, we had an early flight the next day. And so that last night we drove by Naylene, who we were staying with. She drove us by and showed us different like scenes from like the houseboat from Sleepless in Seattle, and like the Fremont Troll, which is kind of like a touristy thing, but
Okay.
it was in like 10 Things I Hate About You. and went by like Meredith Grey's house from Grey's Anatomy and some different things. So I took pictures of that for Grace because she likes Grey's Anatomy. Um, and just showed us around some things like that in Seattle. But really we didn't stay in the actual city like
Right.
itself, other than going to those two games. At one point, like so many people had told us like, oh, you got to go to like Pike's Place Market,
Right.
like you have to go there.
Uh-huh.
So we went, traffic was crazy. We'd already been to a game that day and it was like our first day there. And like, that's not my whole scene. Like my favorite thing to do on a trip is things like this. So I like to go and I like to find somebody that knows that area
Yeah.
and then go do like the stuff that just like the locals do and not worry about the really touristy stuff. Cause I don't
Right.
care about the crowds and I feel like I can enjoy a place better, like seeing what it's really like
Yeah, I
rather
get
than
that.
just,
That's
whatever's
what we
happening.
tried to do as well.
So we went there and it was fine. I think I would think it was cooler if I didn't. You remember Uncle Charlie's, the flea market in Alabama?
Man, I miss Uncle Charlie's. I
Okay,
wish it weren't a haunted house right now. It
it's basic.
sucks.
It's basically just that, but it's like by the water. Um,
Oh, I would love that. Like I love flea
and
markets.
I mean, it was fine, but it's also like I got flea markets back home.
It's
I guess
true.
Alabama's not home anymore. But I was like, yeah, yeah, like there's flea markets back home, and there's like a massive one down here in like Fort Lauderdale
Yeah, there
area
is.
too. So I was just like, I don't know. It was like, yep, this is a flea market,
Yeah.
but I didn't feel like it did nothing. It really did nothing for me. We ended up finding a cool pub down at like the very bottom level because it
Nice.
keeps going underground. You can go deeper and deeper underground. Um, and so this was like on I think the bottommost level. But anyway, they had a bunch of like local beers and stuff.
Right.
So we got like a flight and tried all the different beers. And again, I had grilled salmon because of my tummy.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was fine, but I much preferred going out and like we went up to where like Washington meets Victoria,
Yeah.
and like got the Welcome to Canada alerts on our phones and like saw a bunch of seals. There were like 50 seals just hanging out in the
Nice.
water. So that was kind of cool. So it was like stuff that you can't really do down in Florida.
Right.
It was more my kind of weather. It was like 55 at nighttime, and like the highs were like 71, 72
Yeah.
degrees.
Like that sounds awesome. Like that is my kind of weather.
Yeah.
Was it
So,
rainy while you were up there? Because that's one of the things always puts me off about even thinking about going to the or moving to the
um,
Pacific Northwest is the extensive rain.
yeah, I talked about that with the locals too because I told them I was like, when it rains in Florida, if it's not thundering and lightning, like I just go outside and like sit in a chair in the rain. I was like, because I just like to feel wet.
That's awful. That
I
sounds
just
terrible.
I love the rain, but yeah, it did the first day we were there. It rained and was kind of foggy, looked a
Yeah.
little twilighty outside. But then it cleared up and it was like a nice sunny day for the ball game later that
Yeah.
afternoon, so it was fine. Yeah. Um, I don't know. The rain really doesn't bother me. Everybody told me to like come back in the winters before I moved there
Mm.
because they were like, that's the part the gloom might get to you.
That's
And I
what
was
the
like,
people in Portland were telling us.
I was like, I don't know. I really like the gloom. Like, that's the
I
thing.
don't know. You like gloom, but Tennessee gloom in the winter, like it does affect you.
Yeah, I don't not really, not the way that like sunny summertime does. Um, by the way, I saw an article the other day and it said reverse sad was a real thing. So
I'm not doubting it. I've seen it firsthand too many times from you. Like I get it. It's just so funny to think that the bright sunny weather is what puts you in a depressive state.
I just get tired of the days going like they last so long. I'm like, come on, day, end, let it be nighttime. It is funny though, like my wife even talks about it that like when it gets like right now it gets dark around like 8 p.m. here, I
Yeah.
guess. And she talks about how much better my mood gets. Like it's after once the sun is down and everything, like I just get like more energetic and happier.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. That I
Maybe I
mean, it
should
is hot. It is overbearingly hot there. So
yeah,
when it's
yeah.
out, it does get kind of oppressive.
So I don't know. But yeah, overall it was a good trip. It was nice not like I didn't bring a Switch or anything with me. Like I didn't play any
Good.
video games or look at any screens. We played Crazy Eights, the card game,
Wow.
for approximately 4.5 hours on the ride back.
Oh
just
my
because we
goodness.
we had nothing else to do. Yeah.
Wow. That I usually bring books and stuff like that to read on the flight or sleep. I can't imagine playing Crazy Eights for 4 hours.
I brought a book. It's the book you got me.
Oh,
The Black Prism.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Not
but
like it?
I don't like it.
Oh, I love that series.
I read the first like 80 pages and it keeps flipping between the dude and like his son.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like either one of the characters. And it's one of those fantasy books too, at least right now. Again, only 80 pages into a 700 word book. But like there's not much variety. Like it's a very like dude centric, just like fantasy
Mm,
novel where
I can
it's
see
like
that.
anytime there's anybody important that shows up, like all the POV characters are just dudes. And there's like one dude in prison even who it's showed
Uh-huh.
like twice, and I have no clue who he is yet.
Becomes very
Um,
important later on in the book.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. So I played Crazy Eights for four and a
Wow,
half
man.
hours
I
instead.
if you push through it, let me know because I ended up really enjoying that book. I can't remember at what point it was that I got into it because it's been a long time. But let me know if you do end up finishing it. I hate that you
Yeah.
didn't like it
Yeah, I knew you
so
really
far, at
liked it.
least.
It's funny because you got me that one and Dungeon Crawler Carl, right?
Uh-huh.
And I expected to hate Dungeon Crawler Carl and like this one. And
Yep.
I actually, Dungeon Crawler Carl was super depressing. I'm never going to read any more of them, but
Oh,
I
the,
liked it. I liked it fine. And then this one, like I expected to like it. And so but yeah, I couldn't get into it. I just didn't like the characters.
I'm gonna.
There wasn't like enough variety.
I understand that. I can see that.
It
It
was,
hasn't
it,
opened up to the whole cast yet with the ensemble either.
it's also very traditional. It's hard for
Yes.
me to get into fantasy novels that are like teenage boy in a village.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And so it's like even though the magic system seems cool, it's like, oh, I've read this like 4,000
Like
times
it is a
before.
very
Like it's
traditional mid 2000s fantasy novel.
yeah.
It's good. I really do like it. But you saying that about Dungeon Crawler Carl, I'm gonna now make it my every time I get you a gift, it's gonna be one
No.
of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books.
Don't
Because I knew you didn't like you said you weren't gonna like it and then ended up actually liking it. And I love that series and I love how depressing it is, but it also has some uplifting moments in it. Like
do,
it's I really like that series way more than I should.
do not get it for me because then I'm going to be obligated to read it. I love reading. It's like yeah, I do it a ton in my free time. Like I always set a goal for myself that I'm gonna read one novel per like for every week in a year, right?
Mm,
So like 52. I'm gonna read 52 novels. And the problem is usually that like a huge chunk of the novels that I read are like 1,000 page
they're
fantasy novels,
huge.
right? And so a lot of times, like last year, because of the Stormlight Archive book,
Hmm.
I ended up reading like 50, I think, instead of
Right.
52. And this year I'm up on like 50 already. So I'm like way over where
Dang.
I need to be. But yeah, like I read a lot. And so with all this free time I have and um but like the thing with Crawler Carl is I'm gonna feel obligated to read it if you get it for me, and I don't want to because that book really did depress the crap out of me. Like I know they're known for the humor, and I didn't even like the humor in it. Like a lot of the like jokes and stuff, I'm just like, ha ha, the cat's named Princess Donut, hilarious. Like it wasn't like my kind of humor at all. I'm just like, okay, yeah,
But
that's
her
silly.
personality is wonderful.
It's just it does nothing for me. But I ended up liking it fine, you know, and like finishing it because I always tell my kids it's important to try new things and to finish things.
Right.
So like I try to like even though they weren't watching me read it, I was like, I tell my kids
Yeah.
this all the time, I gotta finish it. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, it's interesting. But it is really depressing because like everybody in the world is dead, pretty
Right.
much.
And that's not even so much a spoiler. That happens in like the first chapter.
I mean, it's on the back of the book,
Yeah, it's on
yeah.
the back of the book.
And so like so I don't know. It just bummed me out. I don't want to read anymore. Don't get it for please don't do it.
It's gonna
Please.
be it's gonna be
No.
so funny whether I do or not because you're always gonna be expecting it now. It's like slap bet. You're gonna be expecting
I will read the next Dungeon Crawler Carl book if you watch Napoleon Dynamite with me.
oh, I don't think that's a fair trade at all.
Napoleon
Oh,
Dynamite is a really good movie,
oh
especially
no.
I rewatched it recently and thought it still held up. He's never seen
I've
Napoleon
never seen
Dynamite, y'all.
Napoleon Dynamite, y'all. So I've made it this long without watching it. I'll go to my grave without watching it. So
No, no, we're gonna
uh,
let you watch. It's really good. Like I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it in years, and I was kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna
yeah,
be like this is a 2004 movie. Like I don't know if it's gonna be as good.
yep,
And then I watched it, and I still enjoyed it. And part of it, I think, a little bit of it was sentimentality
mm, likely.
because, but like, but then there were some jokes and things in it that like I didn't even remember that I thought were really good. And I don't know.
Well,
I thought it still held up well. I thought there was some kind of like depth to it. I think now that I
right.
get as uh like his Uncle Rico, I think is way more sympathetic being like in your,
As you're an
mid
old
to
man
late
now,
30s. Yeah. Now as he was when I was like in high school,
yeah,
or whatever. And so I don't know, but yeah, that's the deal. I'll read more Dungeon Crawler Carl when you
I don't think that's a fair trade-off.
yeah.
Maybe I'll have to avoid it then. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to us catch up and talk about
This
everything and have
episode about
absolutely
nothing.
nothing to do. This was our
Nothing.
Seinfeld episode, and we really appreciate it. So I'll give it to Austin to do the outro like he always does.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Remember, you can watch this over on YouTube, and if you are, it's at youtube.com/ at DQFM.
Mhm.
And also, please subscribe. We talk about real things on this podcast sometimes too,
Sometimes.
not just this nothing. But we'd really appreciate it if you want to talk, chat with us on Blue Sky or Twitter. That's Dragon Quest FM. I'm over on Blue Sky at Dragon Quaston. And remember, you can also support this podcast at patreon.com/ Dragon Quest FM. We have mini-sodes up for all of our patrons. Hi, patrons.
Hi.
We love you. So like this past week was a pre-recorded episode where I was talking about my trip just a little bit. I think BJ's the week before that was on
Gen Con.
Gen Con. And then BJ's episode on that on Monday is
Something.
something. But there's stuff, whether it's like building Lord of the Rings Legos or
Right.
playing DK Bonanza or the new Rune Factory game. I mean, there's like all sorts of subjects. We just bounce around and on alternating weeks and talk about stuff. And you can get those no matter what tier you're at on Patreon. You can get those. And now we're up to like 15 or so
Yeah, it's quite a few.
minisodes on top of the like 50 plus minisodes that were already available on there. Um, so be sure to check that out. And again, just hey, patrons.
And if you want to talk to me separately, I am on Blue Sky at bjkgames.com. I'm on Twitter at bjkgames. And like you said, if you go to patreon.com/ DragonQuestFM, you'll be able to support us and talk to us there. And remember, the YouTube channel is http:// YouTube. I don't know why I started that way. YouTube.com/ at DQFM. The at is very important there. So we will talk to you next time, y'all.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.